I just got back to Spokane after spending the past few years living abroad. I thought I'd make a little video about the pros and cons of living in Spokane. I would say the city is a little bit of a hidden gem, but it's definitely not for everybody. So, a little bit about me. I've lived in Spokane for about 20 years of my life. I grew up here and I went to school here, so I know the city pretty well. I've also spent about 8 years living in Southern California and a few years living abroad. All right, so let's get started with the pros. Firstly, it's a relatively affordable place to live. The cost of living in Spokane is about 30% cheaper than Seattle and slightly lower than the national average. The average home price is around $400,000, which is less than half of the average home price in Seattle, which is around $900,000. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment here for around $1,200 a month. Washington State also does not charge a state income tax, so that might save you a little bit of money as well. The next pro is that there are lots of opportunities for outdoor recreation. There are lots of beautiful lakes within an hour of the city where you can go boating or fishing. Probably the most well-known is Lake Coeur d'Alene, which is about 30 or 35 miles away in North Idaho. The Spokane River also runs right through the city. There's lots of nice recreation areas along the river where you can go hiking or have a picnic or go camping. There are also several ski resorts within a couple hours of the city. Mount Spokane is about an hour from downtown. There are also lots of nice green spaces in Spokane. Riverfront Park and Manitou are the two largest city parks. Right now I'm walking through Audubon Park. There are also several pretty good golf courses within the city and nearby. Spokane also has 4 distinct seasons, so you can enjoy all of your favorite outdoor activities year-round. The next pro is that it's not a crowded city. It's pretty spread out. There's plenty of space. Traffic also isn't very bad. You can drive from downtown to the airport in about 15 minutes. It's a mid-sized city, so it's pretty easy to get around. For the next pro, Spokane has quite a few things to do, particularly for a city of its size. Lots of musicians and comedians and theater tours pass through here. There are also quite a few family events and cultural events throughout the year. For example, there's Bloomsday in the spring, Pig Out in the Park in the summer, Hoop Fest in the summer. There's a Lilac Parade in the spring. There's a county fair every year. There are also quite a few bars and restaurants to explore. It's not a foodie city, but there are quite a few options to choose from. Another potential pro is that the city is pretty mixed politically. It's more conservative than Seattle or Portland, and it's more liberal than places like Idaho or Montana. The city itself is pretty liberal, but the surrounding areas and the suburbs are more conservative. It's also not a very diverse city. I would consider that a pro, but some might consider that a con. The final pro is that Spokane is a growing city. There are quite a few job opportunities, especially in healthcare and education. It's definitely not a dying city. It's expanding. The public schools are also pretty good. The graduation rate is over 90%. You can also spot some wildlife in the city. I see deer regularly while I'm walking through here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 deer. Once in a while I'll see some turkeys, and during the winter I might see a moose every once in a while. Now let's go over some cons. Spokane definitely isn't for everybody. One of the biggest cons is crime. Spokane has a pretty high rate of crime. It's significantly higher than the state average and the national average. It's actually about double. It's important to note that most of that crime is property crime, like theft or vandalism. This is the kind of city where you need to keep your doors locked. Stuff that's not bolted down will get stolen. It's not a problem in every neighborhood, but it's definitely something to consider. Violent crime isn't much of an issue in Spokane. You can wander around pretty much anywhere without having to worry about getting mugged or anything like that. Gang crime isn't really a problem either. Once in a while you'll hear about some crime in the news, but that's usually some type of dispute. If you've lived in a big city before, the crime in Spokane will feel pretty minimal. Another con is the weather. You will have to deal with some extreme weather if you live here. During the summer, there's probably 3 to 4 weeks where the temperatures will be above 90 degrees and a few days where it's over 100. During the winter, you'll have a couple weeks where temperatures dip down below 0. Spokane gets an average of 44 inches of snow per year, so you will have to shovel. Another con is that the public transportation system isn't very good. The bus is the only option, so likely you'll need a car to live here comfortably. The city's pretty spread out, it's just not walkable. The airport is also pretty limited. There are direct flights to most large cities in the western US, but if you need to fly to the East Coast or internationally, you'll likely need to have a layover somewhere. Another con is that there are some amenities that are lacking. There's no luxury shopping district. Some stores don't have locations here. like IKEA, for example. Nightlife is somewhat limited. It's not a big, exciting city. If you want hustle and bustle, you have to go to either Seattle or Portland. Another con is that Spokane is kind of a depressing city, I think. There are quite a few lower income people living here. Homelessness is also a pretty serious problem. There are drug abuse issues as well. Some neighborhoods are a little bit sketchy. There are quite a few buildings in town that are just kind of run down and out of repair. It's not always a pleasant place to be. Also, it gets pretty dreary during the winter for a few months. Another con is that job opportunities are kind of limited here. The economy is okay, but the problem is that there just aren't very many high-paying jobs. Most likely you'll earn a relatively low wage unless you have some type of highly in-demand skill. So to wrap things up, Spokane can be an affordable place to live. Eastern Washington is also a beautiful region to explore. There can be some crime, and you will have to deal with some extreme weather. Locals have kind of a love-hate relationship with Spokane. They love to complain about it, but at the same time, they stick around. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. I'll be making some more Spokane videos until I hit the road again. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.